Declaring a national emergency at the border. Today, President-elect Donald Trump confirmed that is his plan, which will include using the U.S. military to carry out mass deportations of undocumented immigrants. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. Carlo Cicchetto has the night off. CBS 8's Richard Allen is here with reaction from local immigrant rights advocates and the concern that a disturbing part of history will repeat itself. Richard?
Well, that's right, Marcella. While his inauguration is more than 2 months away, President-elect Trump has wasted no time in naming his Homeland Security team, which includes immigration hardliner Stephen Miller, as well as former acting ICE Director Tom Homan as his border czar. And Mr. Trump has also made it clear that once his second term begins, he'll waste no time in carrying out his deportation plans.
Promise that President-elect Trump reiterated many times on the campaign trail.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out.
One that he confirmed via social media today that he plans to keep, including the declaration of a national emergency and the use of the U.S. military to carry out his mass deportation plan.
So right now, everybody in the immigrant community is very fearful.
Human rights activist Enrique Morones is executive director of Gente Unida here in San Diego, which advocates for immigrant rights.
They don't know what to do. Some of them haven't been back in Mexico or other countries in a long time, and it's a very scary time for them.
Morones is concerned that the future of the nation's migrant policy will resemble its dark past, including the past 2 times the U.S. government deported immigrants on a mass scale.
And some of them weren't migrants. Some of them were citizens. But since they look like I do, they deported them. And some of them had a hard time getting back.
This included an estimated 2 million who were shipped out of the country during the Great Depression in a supposed effort to save American jobs, as well as another wave of mass deportations in the 1950s in a move that the U.S. government called Operation Wetback.
And it was horrific. A lot of people were hurt. A lot of people were U.S. citizens in Mexico for the first time, really. And there was a lot of confusion. And there was a lot of terror.
Well, Morones says he expects legal challenges to Trump's moves. Some legal scholars say that by declaring a state of emergency, Trump would be able to tap into additional funding and resources to carry out mass deportations on this scale.
The Pentagon budget, that's where the money is. It's where the people are. It's where the aircraft are. And I don't see him doing this without significant involvement from the U.S. military.
And according to CBS News, Trump's team is considering issuing executive orders in the first days of his presidency designed to stand up to any legal challenges that might be posed to his mass deportation plans. Marcella?
And Richard, at this point, the U.S. military already does carry out some work on the southern border.
Well, that's right, Marcella, primarily offering support like warehouse management and clerical work, but they're not allowed to participate in civilian law enforcement activities like arresting migrants. So if those military powers were expanded to include that, it's fairly certain to say that that would be challenged in court. Marcella?
A lot of legal challenges ahead. Thanks so much, Richard.